So for this problem, to find the area bounded by the curve, then from this given, so first we need to find the point of intersections, and using the substitution method, using this equation, so we need to isolate one variable and always choose that variable that there is no number. Since y is a variable that there is no number, so we need to isolate y. And to isolate y, transpose this positive 2x to the other side. So this becomes y equals 7 minus 2x. Then substitute this equation to the first equation and replace this y. So this becomes x squared minus 4x minus y, and y is equal to 7 minus 2x. So replace, then equals negative 4. Then to simplify, so distribute this negative. So negative 7 and negative times negative, that becomes positive, and transpose this negative 4. So this becomes positive 4, then equals 0. Then we can combine like terms. So negative 4x, positive 2x, that's negative 2x. Then this negative 7, positive 4, negative 3 equals 0. Then we can use now the quadratic factoring. So the factors for x squared, that's x times x. And the factors for negative 3, that's 3 times 1. But since the middle term is negative, so therefore the bigger number must be negative, and this is positive because negative 3 plus 1, that's negative 2. Then to solve for x, equate these factors to 0. So we have x equals positive 3, and the other one, x equals negative 1. So these are the values for x. Then we can solve now for y. From this equation, y equals 7 minus 2x. And to solve for y, if x is equal to positive 3, so we have y equals 2 times positive 3 because x is positive 3. And this is y equals 7 minus 6. So therefore, y is equal to positive 1. Then for x equals negative 1, so we have y equals 7 minus 2 times negative 1. And y equals 7, then negative 2 times negative 1, that's positive 2. So therefore, y equals positive 9. Then this time, we can plot now the point for these points of intersection. So if x is positive 3, y is positive 1, and this is now the point or the first point. Then if x is negative 1, y is positive 9. So this is now the second points of intersection. And this is now the graph for the line. And this is now the equation for the line. Then for this curve, to find the opening for this curve, so if the curve is x squared equals positive y, the curve is opens upward. Then for x squared negative y, the curve opens downward. Then for y squared equals positive x, opens to the right. And for y squared negative x, opens to the left. So since the curve is x squared, so therefore it's either opens upward or downward. Then for this y, if we transpose to the other side, So this negative y becomes positive y. So we have now x squared equals positive y. So x squared equals positive y. So the curve opens upward. So this might be the graph for this curve. And from this graph, we can find the area using this vertical and formula to find the area using this vertical. So we have the integral of the upper y minus the lower y. Then from this graph, so the upper y is the line. So therefore, from the equation of the line, this one is the upper y and the lower y is the curve. So therefore, from the equation of the curve, this is the lower y. So this one is the lower y, the curve. So first, we need to solve for the upper y. And to solve for the upper y from this equation, then transpose this positive 2x to the other side. So therefore, the upper y is equal to 7 minus 2x. Then to solve for the lower y, so using this equation for the lower y, then since the lower y is negative, so transpose to the other side and transpose this positive 4 to the other side. So we have x squared minus 4x plus 4 then equals the lower y. So since we have now the values for the upper y and the lower y, substitute now to this formula. So we have the integral to find the area, the upper y, and the upper y is 7 minus 2x, then minus the lower y, and the lower y is x squared minus 4x plus 4. So don't forget to put inside the parentheses. Then for the lower limit and the upper limit, so since the variable is x, so therefore from these values for x, so we have now the lower limit and this one is the upper limit. So area equals the integral. The lower limit is negative 1 and the upper limit is positive 3. Then to simplify, so distribute this negative, negative x squared, positive 4x, and this becomes negative 4. Then combine like terms, so this positive 7, negative 4, this one is positive 3, negative 2, positive 4x, that's positive 2x, then minus x squared, then the dx. Then to integrate now this function, so since the integral of a constant, just add x, so this one is 3x, then plus, put the constant outside, then the integral of x, so this is x to the power 1, then plus 1 for the exponent, so that's x to the power 2, and this denominator must be equal to this exponent, so over 2, then minus the integral of x to the power 2, so plus 1, that's x to the power 3, and again, this denominator must be equal to this exponent, so over 3, and for the lower limit, that's negative 1 and positive 3. Then to simplify, so area equals 3x, then plus, so we can cancel now this 2. So this is x squared, then minus x to the power 3 over 3. Then we have negative 1 and positive 3. Then this time, substitute first the upper limit. So replace all x. So we have area equals 3 times 3 plus 3 to the power 2 minus 3 to the power 3 over 3. Then minus, substitute now the lower limit. to all x. So x becomes -1, then -1 to the power 2 and -1 to the power 3. Then to simplify, so 3 times 3 is 9. 3 squared is 9. 3 to the power 3, that's 27. Then minus, so 3 times -1, that's -3. -1 to the power 2, that's +1. And -1 to the power 3, that's -1. Then to simplify, so this 9 plus 9, that's 18. And 27 divided by 3, that's 9. Then minus, this -3 plus 1, that's -2. And negative times negative, so we have positive. Then we need to distribute now this negative. So this 18 minus 9, that's 9. And distribute this negative, so that becomes +2. Distribute this negative, so that's -1/3. Then this 9 plus 2, that's 11 minus 1/3. Then we can use now the butterfly method. So this is over 1. So we have area equals 11 times 3, that's 33. Then 1 times 1, this is -1. Then over 1 times 3, that's 3. So therefore the area equals, this is 32/3, or the area is equal to 10.67 square units.